When was the last time we really scrutinized the worth of our time? Looking back, are there moments you don't think were worth it? The fact of the matter is, each moment in life matters. Time, for us, is a continuous flow with only 24 hours in our day, never stopping to look back. Every decision we make regarding how to use our time is thus determining every aspect of our lives. If you're fully focused on everyone else's life, or worried sick about their problems, then you're failing to make time for your own growth. These activities are designed to take your most precious resource, time. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius reportedly said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Know this, and you will be empowered." This realization reminds us that we are only in control of ourselves and not the situations surrounding us. Why spend your precious energy and time on things you cannot reach when you could channel this energy into creating a better world for yourself? This is what I want to offer you today, as we walk through 6 Stoic mantras that remind us to focus on yourself and use time wisely. So before we get started, comment down below, "I put myself first and experience quality time." So let's go on a more life-shifting journey. Principle 1. Avoid the comparison trap. We're at a time when success, beauty, and accomplishment are illustrated with curated images intended to elicit comparison. This constant comparing pulls us away from living the way life is meant to be lived, in pursuit of self-growth and progress. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." His words compel us to look inward, and each of us to take stock of ourselves not against the fickleness of the world's measurement stick, but by our own potential. It's time out of your own life that you could be spending chasing your dreams. Consider the passage of time and how ephemeral it is. We have a lifetime in each moment to develop, to ponder, and to take steps forward. But comparison, too physical and mental, wastes that opportunity. By pitting our life against those of the people we see, we are momentarily picking our eyes up from our journey. In those times, we are not living for ourselves. We are living for someone else's beliefs. This subtle but pernicious practice drains us of energy and attention. The fact is, investing in personal development is worlds apart. Real progress isn't wealth. It isn't status. It doesn't even have to do with anyone else approving of you. It's a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Social media may be full of delusions, but real growth comes from constant improvement and self-awareness. The building blocks of self-improvement, self-awareness grasps where you are beginning from, your strengths and weaknesses. Without this knowledge, your endeavors could lack direction. Another great Stoic sage, Epictetus, said, "First know who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." Identify who you are, and then identify what you can achieve. In this case, progress isn't instant perfection, it's a process. Take the case of Oprah Winfrey. When she first got her start in television, she was not a name people knew. After facing many challenges and rejections, she leaned into her strengths and unique style, ultimately transforming the talk show format. Her path is an example of what it means to self-reflect and build resilience. There are small wins on your journey. Celebrate them. Every small success helps to build confidence, leading to additional successes. You remind yourself your focus is your growth, not a pat on the back by others. You are not defined by comparison anymore. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "The way to be truly fulfilled is not by following someone else's ideals, but by nurturing your own character." Principle 2. Prefer progress to perfection. It's a classic trap of the pursuit of perfection. It generates unseen loads and retards progress. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius have long taught that only progress, not perfection, leads to sustained peace and success. The reality that we grow our entire lives frees us from these never-ending pursuits. Start by taking on negativity, external and internal. Workplaces and personal lives are replete with dissatisfaction and unresolved issues. Instead of getting emotionally reactive to the negativity, adopt an attitude of detachment, So, for example, in a stressful meeting, you use it to think positively rather than reacting to the temporary stress. Such calmness shows the strength from within. Our internal skepticism, the narratives of inadequacy or fear that we tell ourselves, serve as powerful barriers too. Replace these thoughts with affirmations of your capacity to learn and grow. I've found that facing adversity with this mindset builds resilience and hope. Equally important is releasing what we've gotten wrong and what we begrudge. These are the burdens that we hold on to that get in the way of movement. Forgiveness doesn't excuse other people, it frees you. A great strategy to overcome bad habits is implementing good habits. Be in the company of people in uplifting frequencies, be inspired, and be thankful. The story of J.K. Rowling illustrates this principle. Even when beset by poverty, rejection, and failure, she never lost faith in herself. She was so persistent and thankful that it got her this far. You require discipline and patience. It is seldom this straightforward, but showing up consistently drives progress. Think of the way a gardener maintains a tree. Growth may not happen above the surface at first, but roots are getting stronger underneath. In the same manner, your determination and belief in the process will bring about results in due course. Principle 3. Distraction. Free stay away. Consider time your most precious currency. If that were true, would you spend it in trifles? Marcus Aurelius, whose timeless wisdom is ever reflective, teaches us that every moment spent on pointless things is a moment lost forever. Considering the way we spend our time helps us prioritize what is most important and eliminate distractions that sap our energy. Distraction is everywhere today in the fast world, from the notifications dinging on your phone to dispensaries of entertainment that never stop handing you something to do. Life in the modern world is fraught with temptations to divert your attention from things that matter. Marcus Aurelius espoused guarding vigorously over one's time, as if purposefully living demands protecting it with an active commitment. Your relationships will improve because when you value your time, others do too. A seemingly simple but heavy statement of self-worth, this tells the world your goals matter to you, your development matters to you. Identifying distractions is the first step in minimizing them. Most of us spend hours endlessly scrolling through social media, responding to non-urgent emails or doing things that do not serve our goals. These are modern life's hidden time thieves. By having defined limits, like designating blocks of time when you will check social media or emails, you can gain a chunk of time for activities that matter. This intentional use of time allows you to prioritize energy spent on things that matter most to you. It is more about the quality than the quantity of your work. If a task demands intense focus, set aside unbroken stretches of time to work on it. Stoic philosophy don't tell us about the final prize, only about the process. If you are immersed in work of intention and purpose, every second is an investment in you. Healthier time management habits also strengthen your focus, the way working out strengthens muscle. Start small. Dedicate 15 minutes every day for a distraction-free activity contributing to your goals. And in the long run, these tiny actions can snowball into automatic habits, making progress in all areas of your life. Just as crucial is the company you keep. The people you spend your time with massively shapes how you spend your time. If those you are closest to are perpetually annoying you or sucking your energy, you need to reevaluate those relationships. Now we know this. Stoic thinkers, such as Epictetus, see it, quote, "It is a far greater task to use well what is given you and choose the right friends, because friends can either propel you forward or hold you back." In such an environment, surrounded by people who respect your time and promote your development, you can flourish. Another major distraction is negativity, whether coming from the outside or the inside. Clouding your vision and draining your energy is negativity from the environment, people, or even your own mind. Removing negativity is the key to staying focused. That might mean establishing boundaries with dysfunctional people, removing yourself from malignant environments, or overcoming negative self-perceptions. This creates space in your mind for positive, growth-oriented thoughts and actions to take root in their place. In the end, time protection is one of the most respectful things you can do for yourself. It reinforces your faith in your potential, while also ensuring that your energy is focused on your priorities. As the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Time is finite and irreplaceable." How you spend your time reflects who you are and whom you want to be. You may not recognize it, but by learning to reject distractions, you are shaping your destiny, one action at a time, in close accordance with your highest and truest values. Principle 4. Why you should work on yourself. What if instead you could channel all your effort into being the person you've always dreamed of being? This isn't about being self-absorbed. It's about getting back your time and energy so you can use it for your own development. In short, when you work on yourself, you respond to your values and you live a life of intention. The key to personal development starts with setting clear and attainable goals. Just as an athlete trains for a competition, pursuing your goals strengthens and hones your skills. When you put regular and meaningful energy toward your goals, whether it be a new skill you want to learn, improvements to health and wellness, or key career goals, you develop the practice and commitment necessary for success. To thrive, it's critical to make space by getting rid of what doesn't help you develop. Decluttering your life from toxic influences, unnecessary commitments, and distractions paves the way for progress. Meet Jane, a corporate professional trying to balance work and personal life. She freed up time to get a new certification and move up in her field by saying no to endless social obligations and a time-sucking routine. Jane's story illustrates the incredible impact that comes from placing your attention on what really matters. Another cornerstone of personal development is a commitment to learning. Learning through books, podcasts, or new experiences helps your mind stay sharp and flexible. A business leader who regularly researches emerging industry trends, for instance, will be in a stronger position to think outside the box when confronted with challenges and can position themselves ahead of the competition in a moving market. Discipline is the foundation of any growth journey. Its refrains ensure that even when motivation ticks low, normal progress is made. Imagine a student studying for an important exam. Their strategies for studying carry them through the times of "what am I doing sitting here" type of anxiety, and they just keep moving forward. Discipline doesn't restrict, it is the engine that fuels momentum. Patience is needed also. The thing is, growth is rarely instantaneous. While challenges and setbacks are inevitable, it is your determination that helps you continue. Think of a gardener tending a tree. You are building strength, even when it feels like nothing is going on. Roots are growing under the ground. Likewise, even though your efforts may not always be visible, they are indeed furnishing your long-term growth. Don't obsess on the destination. Appreciate the journey. Life's milestones come and go, but the lessons and habits you form in the process remain with you. For example, when a marathon runner crosses the finish line, he or she is not only celebrating the moment of finishing a race, but the many hours spent learning his or her discipline, developing mental toughness, and finding oneself while training. Time is finite and should be protected at all costs. Think of it as a precious resource and spend it on the things that matter to you. But prioritizing what matters and aligning with such priorities helps you focus your limited energy towards the truly important goals that matter. Saying no is a mighty weapon in frontline conditions against do-gooding to protect your time and energy. Saying no to commitments that don't serve your goals gives you the time and brain space to focus on high-impact work, amplifying your confidence and your clarity. In the end, putting effort into yourself is a sign of respecting yourself. Investing time and energy in your growth honors your potential, paving the way for a fulfilled life. You become, as Marcus Aurelius observed, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When you choose thoughts and actions that align with your values, you create a life of meaning and purpose. Principle 5. Find resilience through self-care. When you are in a life journey of self-development, one of the most exciting and liberating turns you can take is to ditch the pernicious pursuit of perfection and accept small steps of progress instead. This small but mighty shift in perspective takes the load off striving for ridiculous standards and allows for resilience, adaptability, and gradual progress. Which brings us to step 1 of this journey. Ask yourself, do you have unrealistic expectations that you are trying to meet? Or are you working towards constant improvement? Progress, meanwhile, isn't about landing every trick at once. It's about little, steady steps forward, then celebrating those steps. Take someone training for a marathon, for example. Rather than fixating on records to be broken, they measure success by an extra mile, a better pace, the grit to make it on a hard day. Each of these small wins confidentizes them and accelerates their internalization further. Setbacks also present opportunities when reframed as progress. Failure, in Stoic philosophy, is not a setback, but an opportunity to learn and improve. Marcus Aurelius counseled us to return to the human heart of our difficulties and ask, what can I learn from this? How can I adapt? Such an approach helps conserve mental energy while giving us tools needed to persevere and thrive. It also promotes flexibility and finding solutions. Life is ever-changing, and rigid plans generally break under pressure. In contrast, people who focus on first principles are able to flex with circumstances. For instance, let's say a professional is working on a project and suddenly a roadblock appears. Rather than give up on their aims, they recalibrate, change direction, and end up with results that far exceed what they originally imagined. As such, this will be an essential skill, the ability to adapt, born from a dedication to growth. One more characteristic of resilience is being successful in taking in feedback. Instead of taking constructive criticism personally, remember that it is a guide to help you get better at your job. Picture a writer sending a manuscript to an editor. The opening feedback may be something less than ideal, but the author does not retreat to their shell and squawk, but instead adding pearls by examining what has been told to them. In addition to their craft, their willingness to learn from others helps strengthen their self-confidence and skill set. People driven toward progress will also learn to embrace imperfection as a learning part of life. The things we imagine we should avoid sometimes mark the things we need to get done. The impediment to action advances action, Marcus Aurelius observed. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Which reminds us that obstacles are not barriers. They are stepping stones to growth. The true grit of resilience is achieved through sticking to it. Whether one is developing a skill, a career, or a relationship, meaningful pursuits take time and effort. Like a gardener tending to a plant. Growth isn't seen right away, yet with sufficient care, the roots deepen and the plant thrives. Likewise, your efforts, even when slow to pay off, set the stage for success to come. Well, by changing your focus from perfection to progress, you have more fun on the journey. Success is not measured by unattainable ideals, but by how well you put in the consistent effort and stayed aligned to your values. As it gets easier, it grows into a mindset that makes dealing with the immediacy of challenge more manageable, more organized, more worthwhile, and better built on meaningful and purposeful components. Resilience through self-focus is about thriving, not just surviving life's trials. Focusing on progress versus perfection allows you the space, compassion, and awareness you need to expand. Stoic wisdom teaches wherever it may be, it is never out of reach, for the power to overcome them comes from you. The moment we start looking inward, when we are in a state of mind where we do not care about anything other than what matters to us the most, we can conclude that it is time to lead our life in a direction where we feel most peaceful and happiest. Principle 6. Conclusions and takeaways. Imagine that you are in a busy room with loud conversations. Everyone talks of their victories on progressive battles, creating celebrity, and plays high aspirational goals. In one corner of the room, though, a different picture, quiet and reflective. Someone asks themselves, is what I'm doing truly meaningful to me, or am I just seeking the approval of others? Muse. Marcus Aurelius. Focus on what matters in life. Image source. This moment exemplifies one of Marcus Aurelius's most important lessons in life, which is focusing on what is most important, your journey. When you stop wasting time worrying about things you cannot control, you find out the awesome power of being self-focused is not just a choice you make, but actually the way you should be living. Every day we face hundreds of small choices, some of which can determine how our life be, from how we face an obstacle to how we spend our time. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." These are 3 insights that highlight the strength of your alignment with action and values for a meaningful life. Focusing on yourself does not equal isolation, it equals intention. It's a gentle statement that your dreams and goals matter. Think of a marathon runner who doesn't train to be the fastest, but to see how far they can push themselves. It is because every step, every breath is proof of their dedication to bettering themselves. They focus on their journey, not just the destination. And this is what makes it worth it. Not the race itself, but the running. There's going to be hardship in life, judgments, failures, temptation to quit your shit. However, facing these challenges provides you crucial lessons and chances to tighten up your personality. Imagine a climber moving up a mountain. Every painful step and scrape hardens their resolve and brings them closer to the summit. As Marcus Aurelius wryly observed, "The impediment to action advances action. The obstacle is the way." Looking at your path liberates you from the chase of the external validation. This doesn't imply that you should dismiss others, but instead realize that your journey is your own. Your values and aspirations dictate the pace and the direction. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, look within. Don't get swept up in the tale of expectations of others. Visualize a gardener in the garden tending to a tree. They don't care what other people think of their work. Instead, they call them nurturing the tree. It grows, blossoms, and bears fruit, and people begin to admire it. But to the gardener, the joy is in the process, and not in the recognition. Your path is as unique as yours. You will have moments of doubt, fatigue, and wondering if you're doing this right. But every step counts, even the smallest step. Your companion, a template of inner strength, which you will climb to hold your body through pain. Know that every choice made today is another choice made towards a more full and meaningful life. In this exploration of Stoic principles, we've looked at how concentrating completely on yourself and treating every minute with a sense of appreciation helps you build stardom without sacrificing its joy. Self-control and purposeful living are the keys to a life of meaning, as Marcus Aurelius and the wisdom of the Stoics explain. So here, I put the question to you. What makes you feel like you're wasting time, and what will you do about it? Let us know what you think in the comments. Let's learn and grow together. And if that struck a chord, drop a 1 in the comments to show your support, or a 0 to let me know how I can improve. So, like, follow, subscribe to become the best version of yourself. Stay with purpose. Until next time, be focused on your inner strength.